Day 2, 5 o'clock p.m. Outside the terminal. You right? Yeah, I guess. Cool. Mind if I join ya? Go for it. Durry. You want a durry? Sorry, durry. Coffin nail. Cigarette. You want to smoke or not? Oh, right, of course. Yeah, sure. Sorry, it's been a weird day. Thanks. No worries. Where are you from then? You're the first to ask. I live in Collingwood. Collingwood. Where else can you find an active nightlife scene and active factories, shots, and apartments built all during the 1800s? Oh, yeah? Whereabouts? Smith Street. Bit pricey up there these days, ain't it? Bet you like your Avo toast. Piss off. I got housemates. Well, nah, I know what you mean. Bit odd, being dead and all that. Takes some getting used to. Getting used to? Ned certainly knows what it's like to get used to being dead. People keep saying that, but it doesn't make me feel any better. I understand. Do you? I reckon as much as anyone can, yeah. Right. Hey, what's Avo toast actually taste like? Or what's Avo toast actually taste like? Huh? Never had it. Can't you go out and just eat some? I'm sure Matty could whip it up if you asked. Avocados are a highly malevolent fruit. Don't trust them one bit. Plus, I got this whole situation. Oh, so that's what the straw was for. You got it. So what does it taste like? Don't know, like avocado and toasted bread. Avocado's kind of cold and mushy, but it's got a good taste. Like peas. Definitely better than mushy peas. Love me a bowl of peas, mate. Bowl of peas. One famous Australian outlaw requested peas with a bottle of wine for his last meal before he was hanged. What? Because they're the only thing you can eat through a straw? Watch yourself. Gonna zap me with your death council powers? First off, it's the Council of Death, not a death council. They're totally different things. Secondly, you really think that's what we do? Walk around shooting lightning out of our fingertips? Well, when you put it like that, it does sound a bit silly, yeah. We don't do anything like that. We just keep things running smoothly is all. Harassing cafe owners to settle their time debt isn't something we like to do often. So you just keep the peace? As fucking ironic as that sounds, yeah. Ned keeps the peace. Dude, I know. Want another? Sure. I love the sunrises here. They're alright. You watch many sunrises, Ned? Not enough, no. Even semi-immortals need their sleep. Semi-immortals. Liminal space tends to draw liminal people. I just like to sit here and watch it. Even when it's cloudy or raining, there's just something about watching the sunrise that makes it easier to deal with the coming day. Feeling optimistic all of a sudden? No, I still feel like shit. Noted, Pyro. Huh? How about you, Kishan? Kashan? I don't feel great. Still having a lot of trouble, You guys, I'm dead and I'm only got a couple hours before I have to go, and I don't think anyone here really purposely understands what it's like to see your last sunrise ever before getting an idea of what comes next. That's really fucking terrifying. I'm never going to see my friends or my boyfriend or my family again. I'm just going to pass on. I'll never know how they'll remember me or mourn me, or if I'm going to be remembered as a good dude who tried his best, or if I'm just forgotten in a year. That good dude who's tried his best couldn't even win a freaking game of five-finger fillet in the basement of a cafe that basically sits on the banks of the Styx, as far as I can tell. And God, I can't even tell if that matters. Were the stakes low, high? Can't tell. I'm so disoriented. I'm trying desperately to feel something, and all I feel is I'm slipping away every second. I'm losing myself by degrees, and that's incredibly scary, and I don't know how to deal with it. Yeah, fair cop. I actually came out to apologize for that. The game. For God's sake, Maddie, have you been gambling again? Can it, Ned? Kashan, I shouldn't have taken that time from you. You took it fair and square. I don't feel like I did, so I'm giving it back. Believe me, I'm as surprised as you are. I don't usually do this. What's different this time? That's my business. I can't believe you're still swindling people out of hours to try and fix your debt. Dude, I know. It's bloody undignified, and it's a clear violation of the rules. I will banish you right now, my man. I thought you stopped pulling that crap once you took ownership of the cafe from Che. Do you really think this is going to help you pay this debt? Yes, absolutely. And if you got any bright ideas on how to do it, otherwise I'm all ears. We should have never granted you and Che those licenses to practice. Licenses to practice. The actions of reckless necromancers make pretty good case for the importance of occupational licensing. You've obviously failed to be responsible with them. You really think we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't have the licenses, Bushman? Given your history, the hypocrisy on display here is astounding. That's all behind me, and you know it. I've been working on doing some good for the last 100 years. With the council? Really? Yes, we maintain the balance. You know why that's important. Sure do. Don't need you moralizing at me from your ivory tower. Give it a rest, guys. But I'm pulling the last day on the Earth card. I'm pulling the last day on Earth card. Quit it. I'll be inside. Come find me when you want those hours back, Kashan. For what it's worth. Sorry about all this. I've never been to the other side. I was too afraid to leave. Walked the land for decades evading the council. That's a crime they call reverency. Staying too long, upsetting the balance. But in lieu of booting straight to the next place, or some sort of eternal punishment, the council offered me a job. The next place. Ned may have forgotten some of the sins of his past, but he's pretty sure he wouldn't be going to heaven. Sorry, that's all stuff you don't care about, I suppose. It's interesting enough. Nah, I'm just filling up an empty hair. You should head inside and grab those hours back. Truth be told, I'm not feeling especially fond of Maddie right now. She might have been dishonest with you, but even I can tell she's at the end of her rope. You might not be able to see it yet, but I think the people in there are fond of you. You think so? Maddie wouldn't have offered the hours back if there wasn't something different about you. Plus, that kid Ashley seems to like you. Yeah? I guess. She kind of dragged me off and told me to hold screwdrivers for her. Trust me, she thinks you're great. Go on inside and say hi. I've got some business to go stick my nose into anyway. Alright. Catch you in a bit. Got some questions about the council. Of course, I won't be out for long. Later, mate.
Hey.
Yo. You want those hours back? I guess so. It's only 4 hours. I don't think it'll make much difference. It's okay. I'd prefer that you have them. Ashley's been enjoying having you around. Just Ashley. And me too, I guess. Seem pretty reluctant to admit that, my dude. Don't psychoanalyze me. Sit still a moment. Alright, lay your hand on mine and place your index finger on my wrist. This part of your ritual or just an excuse to hold hands? Shut up. Thanks. Watch carefully, and no matter what you do, don't move your hand. There's usually a binding spell I use to make sure that doesn't happen, but I've run out of regents required and probably don't care about that. True. Alright, yep. I give this time freely and without coercion. As above, so below, I maintain the balance. Oh, I maintain the balance. That's it. How do you feel? I actually feel better. Feel less itchy. Yeah, we weren't kidding about that yesterday. As you linger, you begin to upset the balance, and as I understand, it doesn't feel good. Right, yeah. Why does Ned get to stick around then? Does he just ignore it? The Council are a special case. They're more similar to demigods or demons than they are to us. That's fascinating. Tell me about it. I'd have joined ages ago, but they're uptight ticks. They don't seem so bad to me. That's because you've not run into any of their ridiculous rules. Bunch of bloody regulations on manipulating life force and certain standards on the treatment of spirits. Standards. There's got to be a more inclusive term than human rights for all the not-so-quite-human entities that are floating around. Is that why you gave me the hours back? Because Ned realized you broke the rules? No, that was all within the guidelines, despite his blusterings. I gave them back because I felt bad, that's all. Oh, neat. So you pity me. I love that. I'm actually really into it. No, dude, it's not like that at all. Nah, you don't need to clarify, I get it. Seriously. Last day on Earth. Moving on. Fine, sure. I'm sorry. Sorry, I've got to serve this customer. I'll help. Really? It's not a two-person job. Two-person job. Sometimes two people working on a task will be less efficient than one. Sometimes, Kashan doesn't care. Yep. Come on. Day 2, 6 p.m. The terminal. Phew. Anything else that needs doing? Nah, I'm gonna take this tray of glasses into the kitchen. You can go chill for a bit. I'll take them. You need a break. Sure. Where's the kitchen? That way. You'll find it eventually. Cool. Be back in a minute. Oh, God. Your pawns are nothing compared to the raw power of my castles. Castles. Rook and Castle both offer protection for the defending team, but Rook seems to be more popular. Nothing. Yeah. What's this then? Ah! My castle! Brought low by my own hubris. No, it was just a pawn. And maybe a little bit of hubris. Hubris. When Che sees Ashley thriving, it's hard for him to feel like he's doing the wrong thing. Maybe that makes him overconfident. Maybe it makes him just the right kind, or just the right of confidence. Bishop, knight. Arg! Your other castle and check. Check, you say? Oh, I didn't think of that. You activated my trap card! Hey, Maddie, come check this out. Huh. I tricked him into a false sense of security? Oh man, that's embarrassing. You seriously let her outmaneuver you that hard? Yes. I'm very ashamed. I suppose the real hubris was me all along. I friggin' love winning. I should try doing this more often. A chance win at chess. Could grow into some big winning streak, you know? You want to play something with us? I should really head back down to the bar. There's nobody there. Come on, take a load off. If anyone really needs you, they'll know where to find you. How about I grab us all a drink, make sure there's nobody waiting down there. Then we play something. Won't be 5 minutes. You actually gonna come back this time? Never come back. I'll come back. Promise. Why don't you pick out a game while I'm gone? Let's find something, Ashley. What do you feel like playing today? Something with lots of dice. Dice. The past tense of die is died. The plural of die is dice. Dice it is. We'll see you in a minute, Maddie. 15 minutes later, Ashley's workshop. And that's why the fourth season of our Battle Royale was absolute betrayal. But you still want to be on it one day. Well, yeah. Unless an indie circuit opens up. Like in wrestling. Exactly like in wrestling. Melbourne's got a local show. I wanted something like that. You could probably put your own local league together if you worked really hard. Perhaps you could build the robots and get people to battle them. Human-controlled bots are boring, though. I want to get more of that spirit juice and put together a bigger Ashling. Spirit juice. Veteran necromancers will advise that spirit juice is not something to play around with. Masters know that playing around is the best way to learn. How big? I think I'll start at car size and move on to more of a bus-adjacent form factor. Huh, I'm not sure we have enough power to one of those. You'd have to get Maddie to source you a large amount of it. We'll need liters of it at least. That'd be super cool. Didn't you say it was legal, though? Well, technically. But what Ned doesn't know won't hurt him. He'd lose his head if we knew half the things we were doing around here. I don't know. He seems fairly lenient with you, right? Oh, well, he wasn't always like that. A long time before you showed up. Nearly shut me down because wouldn't you believe it? I sheltered a criminal. Ned literally shut you down because of that? Am I thinking of the same criminal you are? Trust me, the irony was apparent. Found it very, very funny. What sort of criminal were they? Just a minor demon on the run. Minor demon. Most demons aren't lucky enough to find someone as welcoming as Shay. Especially the ones that haven't had a chance to make a name for themselves. I don't know what she did to get the price on her head. Just took her in when she was stumbled through the door, dripping blood everywhere. That's metal. It was extremely metal. How long did you manage to hide her for? Oh, not too long, maybe 6 weeks. Time flew by, if I'm being honest. Why's that? Was she from the clock realm? No, nothing like that. We just, bonded. Magically? How'd you do that? I thought I heard you telling Maddie that some sort of thing was impossible between beings on this plane. No, not magically. We were... lovers. Oh. Yuck. Ew. Happy days. I love hearing about when you were young and reckless. Gosh, what do you think I am now, huh? Bold and boring? Definitely old. Despite myself, I must say you're definitely not boring. There's the patented Maddie charm. Well, you know me, I'm full of them. Oh yes, charms, hexes, curses. That's all on your account, old man. Ha, I won't deny it. Hey, Maddie? Hey, dude. You having trouble finding the kitchen? Yeah, I couldn't. I checked everywhere. It's just behind the bar, man. You can't miss it. I told you I checked everywhere. Nah, you're not catching my drift. It's just behind the bar. You can't miss it. Have another look. It'll be there this time. Sometimes you gotta remind the quantum hallways that they exist. Fine. How long are we gonna keep him here, Maddie? Oh, we're keeping him? No, we're not keeping him. I'm gonna let him stay as long as he wants. He'll leave on his own accord at some point. You feeling sorry for him? Weirdly, yes. I don't usually get attached to customers, but he's a good dude. I like him. Huh. Do you like him because he's nice? Because he's good at the passing your tools over? Yes. Don't get too attached. It's not going to be here forever. Well, duh, I know how it works. You're going to enjoy having him around just like you taught me. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Ashley, that's from the motivational calendar I threw out last week. I never said that. Same. I'm used to people moving on, it is the point. I can deal with it. Good. Day 2, 6:30, the terminal. Fuck! Gonna keep staring at the coffee stain or no? Yeah. Okay, whatever. What do you want from this conversation? I'm an open book as far as matters of life and death are concerned. Yeah. I don't want to go. I know you probably heard this from, I don't know, 1,000 people or whatever. 1,000 people. Given the amount of traffic the terminal gets, how long it's been open, 1,000 people is a pretty low estimate. It's not about staying around for people or wanting to go back to my old life. As wonderful and not stressful as that sounds. Like, I'm not afraid of what lies on the other side. I don't think there's any point to worrying about it until I'm there. I just don't think I've spent enough time here. The cafe. No. All this, I guess you'd call it this place. Roughly speaking, I suppose so. I want to know what you did to be able to stay. Sure. Did Maddie give you those hours back? Yeah. Why? Well, that's a way. You can just find enough hours to stay as a spirit. Half here, half gone. But it's a wretched existence. I wouldn't want to live like that. How would you find the hours, though? There's only so many you can get consenting beings, right? The crappy psychology gambling aside, you're right, yes. So the question is, how do you do that? How do you create life from nothing? The answer is that you can't, Kishan. It's impossible. There's always got to be some sort of balance maintained. Everyone who learns to manipulate the fundamental life forces understands that, under whether they're doing good or bad things with their skills. Here's the thing, though. You don't need both parties to agree. It's just a social nicety. Something that separates us from, well, people who don't do that. That's where the idea of vampires came from, for example. Those bastards. They're not special or anything, they're just dickheads. Anyway, if you could take life force from people, you can also drain it from animals or plants. But in this business, there's a lot we don't, or can't, understand. One of the things we can understand is why life force from animals or plants is tainted. Feels gross. If it didn't, everyone would take it. Consequences be damned. How are you feeling today before Maddie took the hours back? Felt like I was slipping away. Like my mind was really foggy. Foggy? It's scary to run when it's foggy. You don't know what you might be running towards. It was really hard to think or put sentences together. Nobody really noticed, though. Typical. Imagine that, but 10 times worse. You're foggy, but there's also something fundamentally wrong. Like you're a collection of puzzle pieces that don't quite fit together. Like an engine that's running out of oil. That sounds horrifying, right? So, should I do it? Probably not. How would I stay otherwise? Well, you could always just go on the lam and just run for it. But you'd catch me. Not me personally, but yes, the council would eventually. And that's it? That's my only option? Perhaps. Depends on how you feel about bonding your soul for eternity to a fundamentally neutral arbiter of justice. Neutral. The downside of neutral arbiters is that they're never on your side. I'd have no strong feelings about it one way or the other. Smart ass. Would you regret it if you stayed here forever instead of moving on? I don't know. I guess that'd be up to me, right? What do you mean? In the end, how do I feel about taking a big branch in my life that's just a matter of how I frame it? Wait. In the end, how I feel about taking a big branch in my life is just a matter of how I frame it. I can focus on what I'll regret, sure, but it's not a useful way to spend my time. If I focus on the future, on everything that's in the possibility space instead of outside of it, it's probably better for me, yeah? Sure. You don't sound convinced. I'm just ambivalent on it. I try not to think about anything too hard these days. But if you're willing to accept eternal bondage with the council, I can keep you here. It's not easy work, though. You have to act in the best interest of the system, not its individual parts. Bureaucracy at its finest. How did you learn to deal with it? Just took some time. When you're used to it, you learn not to think too hard about what you're doing. As long as you take a holistic view of everything, things generally shake out alright. We tend to only bother the biggest rule breakers anyway. Maddie being one of them? Habitually. She wouldn't be getting so much leeway if it weren't for Che. I don't understand that guy. He's nice, we chatted a bit. But what makes him so special? He's provided services in the past. I can count on one hand the number of people who know as much about the manipulation of life force as he does. He's been researching it for over 100 years. 100 years? A lot has changed since the days when Che was a young man. No way. He's that old? Looks like 60, man. Max. Yep, much older than that. Wild. We're getting sidetracked, though. How do you feel about joining the council? I don't hold out offers willy-nilly, you know. I'm interested, but can I have some time to think about it? How much time do you have? We've been out for nearly 25 hours. You're overdue. Put it on Maddie's tab. Ha! Okay. Assume you're not going to stick around forever. Unlikely. If the next few hours are anything like how I felt this morning, I'll stick around until you have a solid answer then. Cool. Want to get drunk? We're already drinking, mate. Nah, Che told me about something pretty special he's got behind the counter. That's something really special, he probably offered me some. And even then. So you've tried the bottled soul? You pulling my leg? Nope. Gotta be mistaken. You haven't seen it in person, have you? Yeah, I actually seen it. That's quite illegal. Expected better of him. Damn it. So, are we going to drink it or not? Council regulations require me to confiscate it or force the owner to dispose of it. Confiscate? Ned doesn't steal anymore. He just confiscates. We'd be doing him a favor then. I suppose. Come on, dude. Chase said knock it flat. When you say you, do you mean me? Or you? Or just anyone who drinks it? Anyone? It's like 200% alcohol or something. That's not technically possible, but I'll admit my interest is piqued. Well, let's not waste any time. Damn it. This was a setup, wasn't it? Basically. You in? Fine. Oh, this looks deadly. Good thing dead people can't get alcohol poisoning. Aye. To bureaucracy. Ha. To bureaucracy. I fucking love the way they transition the scenes in this. It's such a well-made story. Just going to chill and let her enjoy herself outside. What are you guys thinking about the story so far? Let's take a little bit of a side note, a small trivial break between us just to chat. I know many of you are very much just chilling in the background. I do want to say, tonight's show is sponsored, but not by the usual suspects, by two members of the community who purchased this game for me. Big shout out to Bloody Judge and Red Gypsy. If it's your first time here, I'm just going to take a very small break to say a few things. I stream 5 nights a week, from Saturday to Wednesday. Thursday and Friday are my night off. From 10 p.m. Central until, you know, like 5, 6, 7 hours, 8 hours. If you want to keep an eye out on things that come up, you can hit ! Discord in chat, or go to discord.gg/Jacklifear. And in there, I have announcements and such, and updates on what I'm playing, etc. If Twitter's your thing, it's more for when I'm feeling frisky to talk. You can go to twitter.com/Jacklifear. I want to say a major thank you to everybody who supports the channel, and this doesn't even mean that you spend a dime or not. I'm talking about all the people sitting here chilling, enjoying yourselves, all that, just chatting in chat, or just sitting on your couch metaphorically. I want to say thank you to all of you. It's a big deal that I get to be able to do this. This is what I do for a living. I've got a wife and 2 kids, all that stuff. I think this is a good point for bed. Dude, Pyro, sleep well. If everything goes smooth on the setup after this game is done, we'll be going through all of it. I am going to be enjoying myself by playing some Final Fantasy VII Remastered. Or remake, rather. So yeah, just wanted to take a moment, stretch, and just say thank you all for being here, and I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. It's just pure movie night, you know? I'm glad you like it, Rock. The voices, they're not as far-fetched and huge as I try to do normally, but I'm trying to keep my voice nice and comfortable. I'm doing voices that are well within my range. I hope they've been different enough that you, even if you're not watching the screen, you know which voice is which at this point. Hopefully I'm doing it right. Yo. Your order's arrived. 3 days late, mate. Got held up by a mutual acquaintance of ours. Ah, shit. That explains why he's in my hair. I'll be in there in half an hour. The catabasis is considered to be a vital part of the hero's narrative. Every hero goes to hell at some point. In the stories, they usually come back, which is a bit that seems so weird to me. I don't think that's how it works in real life. The cafe has had a bunch of heroes come through claiming that they were going to conquer hell and come back. They never returned as far as I saw. The idea of catabasis is that, in the grand scheme of things, hell or the underworld or Hades or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it's on the outside of wherever we are. Like we're trapped inside the sphere and we leave it to go to hell. Did the ancient Greeks ever consider that maybe we've been on the outside the whole time, just waiting to get in? Maybe they did. Matter of perspective. I guess I'll ask sometime if I ever meet one. Or perhaps we're just waiting our entire lives for this, to pass through the firmament to the next place. To be driftwood that watches up on the shore of whatever the next place actually is. Seems weird, but maybe that's where we're naturally meant to be. I'm thinking it's possible that this world isn't some sort of proving ground or anything. Maybe it's just a waiting room. A beautiful, flawed, complex waiting room. Personally, I don't think there's anything like hell or heaven waiting for us. No judgment either. The world doesn't seem to operate in binaries or absolutes. That's just flawed human thinking projected onto things that are much more complex than they could ever perceive. And I don't think that's waiting on the other side is even something that we can conceptualize. I bet it's cool. It's a shame that it's a one-way trip, though.